Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I just got back from DC Fintech Week. I just went there for a day, and I'll tell you a little bit about that as we go along. But I'm going to start here. R3, the blockchain company backed by big name investors like Intel, is exploring options, including selling itself. And so I wanted to show this because we also have this. This is Brad Garlinghouse in an interview with Bloomberg a couple of days ago.
I want to switch gears for a second here. Got to get your opinion on what we just saw just this week. Eye-popping deal, really, for Stripe to acquire a stablecoin platform, a more than $1 billion deal in this industry. When you look at a deal like that, do you say, okay, maybe we sell Ripple, or at least partner with another large financial technology firm to expand in the world of stablecoins?
Look, I look at that as a very positive sign that this industry is just becoming more and more mainstream, more and more integrated, and in more and more demand in different payment flows. So I view it as a very positive thing for the industry. As you probably know, Ripple is about to release our own stablecoin called RLUSD. I think the stablecoin market is going to continue to grow, and I think Stripe is clearly indicating they think the same.
Ripple CEO. Okay, so what's happening here is we're going into, I believe 2025 is not just going to be big for crypto and be a cleansing of all these bad guys like Gary Gensler, but I think it's also going to be very potentially the year that the IPO market comes back, the mergers and acquisitions come back. In terms of the idea that Ripple could be bought, there's a handful of companies that would be big enough to buy a Ripple, but I don't know if that's ever been in the plans for Ripple. I looked up the companies that are, these are the largest companies in the world by market valuation. NVIDIA, Microsoft, if you look here, 3.45 trillion, 3.47 trillion, Apple's 3.57 trillion. This would be an interesting one to swoop in and buy Ripple. Saudi Aramco, and then Alphabet, which is Google, and then Amazon. There's a handful that would be big enough, and that's as long as XRP is not put on the balance sheet and XRP doesn't take off. If it's put on the balance sheet and it takes off now, that's a whole different can of tomatoes, because Ripple then could probably gobble up all of those companies. Hence, maybe that's the whole point of Gary Gensler's lawsuit. Then you've got this. This is the CEO of the NASDAQ talking about the IPO market coming into 2025.
Can we talk about the IPO market?
Sure.
I think there's a big question mark just about where we really are in all of this. And there's also a big question mark because there's so many private equity firms that are taking businesses private that are looking desperately for exits. They're trying to find the exit and they can't right now. So what does that look like to you?
Yeah, so, it's interesting. I was.
By the way, this is what happens when you have a government that's in place that is killing innovation and running it offshore instead of inviting it. I've seen crypto booms many times now, and Gary Gensler has literally thrown a stick in the spoke of the market for 3+ years now. If you had a SEC chairman who had gone to the microphone and given optimism and said, we welcome businesses here and all that, which would be, you could do it in one speech. You could completely turn the markets around. As part of his job is to attract capital formation. He's done the exact opposite, and everybody knows it. But somebody could turn it around on a dime.
A year ago and trying to understand what we were saying. And we were saying, we hope that we're going to have a better environment as we go into 24. And now I'm going to say we hope to have a better environment as we go into 25. But we did have 33 IPOs this quarter, including the largest of the year with Lineage. And we have a 75% win rate, so that's great. But really what's happening is that we've had a lot of changes in monetary policy, which means interest rates have gone up and now they're starting to come down. That should create a better environment for companies to come out. The growth of the economy continues to be resilient, so that, that idea that we're going to hit a soft landing feels like it's tangible. And so that's giving investors more confidence. But now we have to get through the end of this year because there's a lot going on outside the economy or, kind of in the world around us. And as we go into 2025, we are feeling that there are more companies with a lot of conviction.
All right. So good thing Link to is my sponsor, linqto.com. You can go there or you can download the app. They added Ripple private equity onto the platform the other day. Go check it out. Now, when I was at DC Fintech Week, this was a shocker for me. This really did shock me. So I'm watching, Brad Combs and I went together, excuse me, and I'm watching this thing, okay? And we watched several panels, and you couldn't get a seat. They probably, it looked like they had maybe 500 people there, but they only had like 250 seats. So they had a room with people standing that were getting coffee and stuff like that and standing around and talking. And then they had another room to the other side where they were doing that, and they had they were doing interviews with some of the people that had been on stage. And so in every panel we saw, the seats, all those 200, 250 seats that they had, you couldn't get one in every panel until Brad Garlinghouse came up there. The second that they announced he was coming out on stage, it was a mass exodus. And I'm telling you, when he got up on that stage, the seats that were right here in front, I counted at least 20 to 25 seats that opened up right when they announced he was coming on. And for those of you that haven't been around, this can be, I'm telling you, the people in this room, these are DC types. These are DC attorneys. These are regulators. It's those people. And what's Ripple been doing for the past few years? Kicking the butt of the SEC. And a lot of the people in that room are probably friends of the SEC. But there's also a lot of the people in that room that are ideologues. In fact, we were on the street and we were talking, Brad Combs was asking this lady that was at the conference, said, were you at XRP Las Vegas? And she's like, no, I would never go to that. And made a comment like that. So there is they hated, when I first got in this, the whole industry hated Ripple. Then when Ripple got sued by the SEC, they were all gleeful about it because they didn't think that that they were gonna be next. Even though John Deaton and Brad Garlinghouse were all saying that they're gonna come for everybody. And then they came for everybody. And then everybody started trying to act like we're all on the same team, but deep down they all still hate Ripple. And that's the fact, Jack. You know why I think it is? I think it's because they know that through this XRP and Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, that's just said, XRP is the only digital asset with legal clarity right now. Okay, and guess what? Everybody's going to find out soon. XRP Unleashed, they've sold out, I think another one, Houston. All of them are within a few of selling out. Atlanta's only got a handful left. Scottsdale sold out. Houston sold out. Los Angeles has sold out twice. They opened up a new theater. And then today at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 o'clock, they're dropping a new trailer for XRP Unleashed. Get ready to see the bigger picture, and they've got a Chinese flag with an American flag, folks. We were right all along. MoonPay is just figuring it out. Biggest surprise of 2024 has been that XRP might have the loudest community in all of crypto. And I said, wait until you see XRP Unleashed, MoonPay. They picked the wrong fight. True story. Citi debanked Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse this was in his talk there at DC Fintech. He said that they had debanked him. Well, I don't know if I've ever even said it on my channel, but I was debanked because of crypto. I was debanked. I had a bank closed 2 of my accounts. But Brad Garlinghouse said that they told him it was because of crypto and all that. But in my case, they just lawyered up. They wouldn't even give me the reason, because it would open them up to a lawsuit, because crypto's not illegal. And they knew that. So we live in a pretty twisted world. Now I've got so much more to cover. I'm gonna go over a lot of this in DAIXRP.com. We'll go over what Stuart Alderoty's saying here and talk about what they're doing in the appeal and all that. But there's also what I would consider the most important the most important thing in finance that will happen in any of our lifetimes. It'll be the most important thing in 100 years, has been brought up. And I'm going to talk about that too. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.